Hey guys, what's up and how are you all doing? Today, I wanted to discuss a very important subject with you. And I know that it's a major problem for many people, many entrepreneurs. And it's why you keep on failing with your own online business or how to achieve success in anything that you want to do online. Now, I know that that's a major topic, and a lot of people are talking about it today. And since I see it in so many forums and Facebook groups, where a lot of entrepreneurs are, writing about their failures with their online businesses and all the ventures that they did, and they're asking like what they can actually do in order to overcome that and become successful. And I really see that across the board, even people with like vast knowledge and an insane amount of experience, they tend to fail. And this is only because they're not doing the right things. Now, I decided to bring, my own perspective about this subject and try to give you, a couple of pointers and tips that you can actually implement and will help you overcome these kind of problems if you're experiencing them in your business, and you'll actually be able to become successful. So what should you actually do? So first thing first, if you keep on failing at something that you do in your life, then you're obviously doing something wrong, okay? You got to change what you do, and you got to do it quickly, because otherwise, you're just wasting time and money, which are very valuable, and you obviously got to change. So that's the first thing. The second thing I'd recommend you to do is, follow the golden rules that I'm about to tell you now. And believe it or not, there are only like 4 basic rules that you actually need to follow in order to achieve success online, okay? So I call them the 4 pillars of success online. And if you'll adapt and implement them in your own life, you will achieve success and, any goal that you want online, okay? So, without further ado, let's just dive in and talk about the 4 pillars of success. So the first one is you gotta have an achievable goal and a detailed action plan about what you're gonna do, okay? The second thing that you need to do is you gotta be consistent and take massive action every day, okay? The third thing that you need to do is you gotta stay focused, completely focused on what you're trying to achieve. And the fourth thing is you have to free your mind from any kind of limiting beliefs you might have, okay? And this is very important. I'll go deeply into each and every one of these 4 pillars in a moment. But you gotta go implement all of them, and that's the only way that you're going to succeed. If you are missing, one of these ingredients, you're gonna have problems. So make sure you listen very carefully, write it down even, and make sure you implement them. So let's go back to the first one, okay? The first pillar of success is you need an achievable goal and a detailed action plan, okay? Now, why is that? First of all, the goal that you're having has to be achievable and well-defined, okay? Don't just like write down, I want to fly to the moon, but I don't have a spaceship, okay? You need something that's achievable, doable, and you can get to it. It doesn't have to be an immediate goal, but make sure that it's something that you can actually make eventually. And make sure that the goal that you are writing is actually achievable within the resources that you currently have at your disposal, okay? If you don't have enough resources to do that, this goal is just, it ain't gonna help you. You won't achieve it. Now, make sure that you make a detailed analysis of yourself so you can actually understand your strengths and weaknesses, and the things that you like to do and the things that you don't like to do. Write them down, put them all in a plan, okay? And make sure that you write it down in a form where you actually have some actionable results, okay? Actionable items, sorry, that you need to perform daily in order to achieve your goals, okay? Now, if you got any kind of big tasks that you just wrote down, make sure you break them into smaller pieces that you can actually successfully implement within a single day. And the reason for that is you want to make sure that each and every day you are going through a task and you are finishing it so that your mind will actually feel rewarded for achieving the goal, okay? So it has to be tiny bits and pieces of the big goal that you have, and make sure that you are writing them down. Now, make sure that if you have any kind of gaps in your plan, you gotta somehow find somebody or hire someone who can actually fill the gap, okay? There's no way that you can accomplish your goal with any kind of gaps in your plan. So if there's something that it's either your weakness or something that you don't like to do, make sure you hire somebody or you actually perform that specific part with automation, okay? That's more or less sums up our initial goal. The second thing, or the second pillar, which is super important in my opinion, is you gotta take massive action every day in a very consistent way, okay? Make sure you work every day toward achieving your goal. Make sure you follow the plan that you created in the previous step, in the first pillar, and that you perform each and every necessary action, because otherwise things just ain't gonna work, you know? Because, you know, honestly, there's no such thing as truly passive income or business. Everything requires some kind of work that you got to put into. And if you don't do that, you don't take massive action every day, you're not consistent, things ain't gonna work, okay? Each business, relationship, possession you have in your life, doesn't matter, requires a certain amount of attention, okay? If you won't give your attention to the things that you're working on, you won't see any progress, and eventually these things are going to die, okay? So like I said, second pillar, consistency and massive action, very important. The third thing that I'd like to talk to you about, or the third pillar, is focus. Now, this is by far the major part, you know, of the equation. At least in my case, that's one of the problems that I was having, and that's actually lack of focus. Okay, now having lack of focus will kill any kind of business or operation you might be doing. And you know, we are all on the internet, and the internet is full of information, great information, tutorials, stuff that you want to learn, but you know, consuming an enormous amount of content and trying to chase, like, you know, the next big thing all the time, aka the shiny object syndrome, as people call it, it will just, you know, take you off your target, and you don't want to do that. And regardless, like, an excessive amount of information will get you overwhelmed, and overwhelm can put your mind into something that's called survival mode. That's something that every human being have, and it will really affect your confidence level, and it might even lead to depression. So make sure that you don't get yourself overwhelmed. That's like the first mistake that everybody is doing. You see the next shiny thing, you say, hey, ecom is amazing, affiliate marketing is amazing, you know, I gotta drive traffic from Facebook. Don't do that. Like, all these things together will get you nowhere. Get focused on one thing, make sure you do that, and then go to the next thing once you see some success. A very easy way to do that is to use something that people call the 80-20 rule. So the 80-20 rule will basically help you figure out what is the 20% of actions, okay, that you need to do each day in order to reach 80% of your success or income goal or whatever you want to achieve, and make sure you build your daily routine around that, okay? It will really help you filter out all the unnecessary things and really focus just on the 20% that gives you 80% of the benefit. Out of that list, you know, pick one task every day, work on it, focus on it, make sure you're getting it done. And, you know, you need to understand, like, the mind and body that we have are working, you know, very similar to a car, okay? Your steering wheel and your car goes in the same direction that you are looking at. So if you're taking your focus and putting it somewhere else, not on the final goal or the task that you need to do today, then, you know, you're taking yourself at that direction. And same as with cars, you know, you're taking your eyes off the road, you're gonna crash. Don't do it. Stay focused. This is super important, in my opinion. Now, the fourth pillar, which is the last one that I wanted to talk about, and it's a truly important pillar. I wasn't even aware of it until recently, but I actually noticed that it really affects me and my business. So I really put a lot of attention into this thing now. And that's you gotta free your mind from any kind of limiting beliefs, okay? Now, I'm a big believer in what's called the law of attraction, okay? And you gotta understand, like, you are radiating, okay, whatever you feel or whatever you believe in to your surrounding, okay? If you don't truly believe in what you're doing or yourself or what you want to achieve, then you're just, you know, you're never going to achieve that. You're essentially blocking your success. So you got to make sure that you don't block with your mind, with any kind of misbeliefs you might have, what you're doing. So, you know, in order to go there and make sure that you bridge that gap, you have to build your confidence level little by little, you know, and you got to do that in order to remove your misbelief that you might have in yourself or your capabilities. Otherwise, nothing will tick, okay? A good tool to do that is basically try to do some introspection into yourself. Try to truly look, you know, deep in. Try to understand where these kind of painful feelings that you might be experiencing, these, you know, bad emotions, where they're coming from. Try to work on that and remove any kind of like roadblocks that you might have, because that mind block is gonna kill your business, honestly. And a very good way of trying to get your mind off these kind of limiting beliefs is stop stereotyping and labeling yourself or other people, okay? And that's some kind of sin that I used to perform on myself, by myself. For example, if you guys know me way back, I'm quite, you know, shy person. And I actually labeled myself as somebody who's very shy, who can't speak in public, who have some kind of like a stage fear. And it actually blocked me. And I wasn't, you know, getting the opportunity of actually going there and becoming successful and talking to people, sharing my experiences with them, or just, teaching people on a video tutorial how to do things. So as you can see, I'm going on Facebook Live now. I'm recording tutorial videos. I'm trying to work on that and remove that roadblock for my life so I can actually get to the next step. And you got to do that too. You're afraid of, talking to people, doing business, try to work on that. You're afraid of interviewing people who will work in your business, work on that. And this is truly something that will, take you to the next level, because you're actually stepping out of your comfort zone. And it is super important to do that.